My name is Emmanuel Ansah, and I'm a proud Katechi BR734. Yes, by the time I was in high school, I'm sure most of you were in the kindergarten. I completed OWASS 10, 11 years ago. Yes, a very long time ago. And I must say, it's been a great privilege out there. And it means so much for me to come back here and also share my experience with you. I don't know if we could have some quiet in this room before we begin. Just before we begin. I have only 10 minutes to speak to you guys, so I wish we could make the best out of it. All right. Before I begin, how many of us here are visual arts students? Let me see by the raise of hands. Who are offering visual arts here? Let me see by the raise of hands. There's no visual arts student here. Okay, you are up there. All right. So my presentation is going to be very simple. It's going to be about my time here as an Owarian and then how the lessons I learned in this school has helped shape my career as an entrepreneur and a chef. And as the MC said, I'm a chef by profession, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I run one of the fastest growing fast food businesses in the country right now called Lubika Ghana. It's been in operation for the past 7 years now. And just last week, we just launched our very third branch. Our goal is very simple. We want to become the premier fast food brand in the entire country in the next 10, 20 years to come. So when you see Lubika out there, just know that he's one of your own. Now, I want to share a story with you guys. Back in 2012, we were actually the students who began visual arts in Opokuwari School. We were the pioneers of visual arts education in Opokuwari School. Now, when we were about to start, there were a lot of discussions being made about introducing visual arts in Opokuwari School. And you know what they say about visual arts students? Normally, when you go to other institutions and you're looking for the recalcitrants, the true ones, normally it's the visual arts students, am I right? So when the conversation came up that Opokuwari wanted to introduce visual arts into our education, there was a whole lot of back and forth and debate. The point was, a lot of parents actually wanted us to fail, just so we could prove a point. So I did visual arts. I was actually a transfer student from Prempeh College to OWASS. And by far, that is one of the best decisions I have ever made. I know normally they like to rub it in your face that they are the better school, and they'll tell you, oh, Kofo completed our school, and Kofo. Catch on say, oh, Kofo, yes, you're YP, you're talk, I'm a candidate. Now, in 2012, when they introduced the visual arts education into OWASS, like I said, there was a whole lot of pushback because parents were arguing that when they introduce visual arts into Opokuwari School, it's going to reduce the standard of Opokuwari School. That's what they said. And so the argument was, let us pick a few students to pioneer this visual arts course in OWASS, and let us see if we can even have 2 of them end up in the university. So imagine being in an environment where you've already been destined for failure. That's the kind of environment I and my colleagues found ourselves in. We were just 28 students when we started visual arts in Opokuwari School. I remember very well we were in the new building. Yes, in the new building. I don't know what you call it now, but that's where we were. Fast forward, after 3 years of education, 6 of us ended up in Kane University, 3 of us ended up in Legon, 2 of us wrote SATs and are studying abroad as we speak. What's the point I'm trying to tell you right now? It is okay to be in an environment where you seemingly don't belong. But the fact that you shouldn't be somewhere doesn't mean you can't be there. Because I've been in several situations where I wasn't necessarily supposed to be there, but I found myself in the room anyway, and I excelled. So fast forward, right from Opokuwari, I got admission into Kane University to study comm design, my first choice. And then right after school, I realized I had so much creativity to unleash into the world. And so right after university, I didn't even bother getting a job. I knew what I wanted to do straight away. The problem was just the doing part. And that's what I jumped straight into. My business is called Lubika Ghana. That's our mascot there. We're a fast food business. Like I said, we've been operating for the past 7 years now. Our goal is to become the #1 food brand in the entire continent. I'm sure by the time you grow up, this name will be very familiar to you. So I had this idea. I come from a very long line of cooks and chefs, right? And for almost everybody who wants to get into the restaurant business, they go for the traditional dine-in setup. You know, you rent a stall, you decorate it, and then you turn it into a restaurant. But I had a different idea because I was coming from a creative background. The idea for me was how can I be innovative about my restaurant idea? Because I didn't want to do what everybody was doing. I had wanted to do something different. And so because I was a creative myself, I literally sat down with a drawing pencil and a large A4 sheet just to sketch my ideas, and that's when I came up with the idea to run a food truck. Basically, a food truck is similar to a restaurant, just that it has wheels under it. So my restaurant model is a restaurant in a movable system, right? And so the kind of market that I target is what I call the movable kitchen concept. Fast forward 7 years later, we are now operating in 3 locations. This year, we are adding 2 more to 5 locations. Next year, hopefully we go to Accra and establish more. But it all started with the discipline and the grit that I built from where you are right now. That the chances that you're going to get in this school, do not take them lightly. You see those friends that you are seeing seated right beside you here and there, they are the same people who would grow up and become the big people that you know of. Almost every rich man that you know in this country started exactly where you are. And once you find yourself in this auditorium, I promise you, you have one of the best chances to go out there and make it. You have one of the finest teachers you can find in this country. You have one of the finest learning centers that you can find. And please make sure you capitalize on it. The fact that you are in school doesn't mean you should make all your life about books. Don't make all your life about academics. There is more to life than academics. Don't sit in a classroom and say, don't do that. Be friends with the people around you. Network, even with the people that you don't know that are in other classes. Network with them. It is very important. It is one of those key factors that will make or break you in the outside world. Now, my dream, like I said, is very simple, is to become a billionaire one day using this very business. And I hope one day, when we make it, I can see my fellow Akateche also making it big in the universities. And normally, when you come to Kenya University, it's filled with OWASS and Prempeh students, right? And so I'm praying for you guys that whilst you are here, please make it a point to use the best that you've been given. Don't take it lightly. Persist and persevere. And one day, when it's all and done, when we meet at the top, we'll have a discussion and we'll break bread. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Emmanuel, and I hope to see you again soon.